Hi, everyone. This is Ashley Sheree here from the Soapwire Podcast, brought to you by the TV Cave. Okay, so let's jump into this really quickly. You may be a little bit surprised. Deneen, unfortunately, was not able to record with us, but we are okay. We know things happen. So I thought, why not try this just by my damn self and see what happens? So we're just going to have my thoughts, my views on the stories of this past week and go from there. So I hope you enjoy my alone thoughts. So let's get into it very, very quickly. So, first and foremost, you already know the Soapwire podcast is sponsored by Katie Waltman. That is Katie Waltman. Okay, so go ahead and get your jewelry from Katie Waltman, which offers elegant handcrafted pieces from stackable rings and gold-filled bracelets to personalized charm necklaces. Okay, you better go ahead and get it. It's been featured in Elle, InStyle, Oprah.com, and worn by celebrities such as Molly Sims. So why not go ahead and take yourself to Katie Waltman and use the promo code SOAPWIRE. Use the promo code SOAPWIRE. That is one word together and not apart. So let's jump right on into it. So, I don't know if we heard, but it's been everywhere today that Tamara Braun, formerly of General Hospital, she played Carly as well. She was the second Carly, formerly of All My Children, the defunct All My Children, which a lot of us wish would come back along with One Life to Live. She played Reese on there, who was married to Bianca Montgomery, of course, even going into Days of Our Lives. So it has been released that our girl will be joining Young and the Restless as Sienna Booker. Ooh la la. So be on the lookout. It is said that she will probably premiere sometime in the fall, and she starts recording this coming week. So be on the lookout for our girl Tamara. Listen, she stays with a job, and that's one thing I know, that's for sure. And then that is right. So let's go right on ahead to Beyond the Gates. BTG in the building. Okay. Okay, so we all know Ashley essentially rejected Andre because of the misunderstanding pertaining to, you know, seeing him with Danny. And that's my couple. I love me some DeAndre. I don't care what nobody says about it. So, she wind up seeing them together and then essentially said, like, no, we're done, and decides to go back to Derek, who we all know had this medical crisis. I do feel like he was just at that point where he's just like, I don't really care, like what I do, I'm just going to do it. I mean, I okay, I'm just really not invested in that couple. I'm just not really not invested in that triangle. Like it just does nothing to me, to be honest. I'd rather Andre, Danny, and Bill triangle. That's just me. Give me some guiding light. Give me some Vanessa, Bill. Like give me that type of triangle where it's like the May December romance and she's struggling, the older husband type of thing. I don't know. I can really see it going there, even though at the end of the day, we're not stupid. I'm not stupid. I've been watching this for how many years? I already know they're going to get Bill and Danny back together. It's just going to freaking happen, no matter how much I do not want it to happen. I'm okay with it happening. Do I want it to happen? Absolutely not. Because I really don't like the way he talks to her. Just cheating the way he want to cheat. If he didn't talk to Danny crazy, maybe I would be a little bit more into them rekindling or just being like, whatever. Because I'm already like, I know it's going to happen, even if I don't want it. But I just really don't appreciate the way he talks to her. But I gotta say, Tim and B acting, and I just love what he brings to the character of Bill. Like, there's no way. Like, Bill get on my nerves, but there's no way I can hate Bill. There's like no way. That is the quintessential villain. The S where you still feel bad for them, or you still just like them, and you just don't know why. And that's what Bill gives me. He just gives me Adam Chandler so much, and I love that because I feel like unfortunately that is the type of character in date that is missing in daytime. We don't essentially have that anymore. So I soak it up, but I still don't want Bill with Danny. And I said what I said. I just love the chemistry that Carla and Sean have as well. But then again, is Carla just that magnet? Like she just can't help but pop. You know what I'm saying? Like You put her against anyone, she's gonna pop because even when Devon stopped in, they even had it too. And you know that she filled in as Hillary, I believe, or Amanda, one of those. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see. Brighton, you should mosey your way down to Fairmount Crest. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, like, bring your little self over and you'll have some storylines to boot. Unlike Young and the Restless, who really only cares about having a storyline with certain older people. They won't let, you know what, Ashley, we not on Young and the Restless right now. We are on BTG, the Holy Grail. Okay, that is where we are at. And I also did like the scenes between June and the twins, but I also believe she really did overstep because how dare you just show up at the house? You are so lucky that they even wanted to meet you. And that was a thing where I feel like she's putting her own feelings above her children, and that was a problem in the first place. Okay. You were too busy getting strung out on drugs, and I know addiction is a sickness, it's an illness, and it's a problem. But also, it took priority over your children so much so that you decided to give them up. You didn't even allow them to go with your sister who was willing and ready. But now, since they have essentially made the decision that they are going to put themselves first, you see how that works out? They're going to put themselves first, okay? Themselves first, not her, and choose not to have a relationship with her. They feel as though they have their parents and they don't want to embark. But for her to go over there and still try, I don't know, that I just felt like that was overstepping. But again, it's a soap. So, a soap gone soap. And it also laid the groundwork too for some good scenes as well. So I do really want to see where this is gonna go. I feel like Samantha is more wavering to have a relationship with her than Tyrell. Tyrell don't want to hear it. That boy said, I said what I said, get out my face. Like I remember. So you're able to see that there's so much trauma there for him still. And there's still trauma for Samantha, of course. But what's winning out, I feel like, is that yearning to know her biological mother. Because don't get it twisted, Smitty and Martin, those are their children, period. Because I hate when people try to, say that adopted children aren't really their kids, they don't have the same relationship bond. I think that's a little crap. Just because you adopt a child doesn't mean that we don't have the same bond just because I didn't birth it or we have no blood connection. When I love you down. And that's just what it is, especially when it pertains to a child. I used to teach. I still love my kids, and I know that that's different. I know, but I think about my kids quite often, and I wish that they are well and doing what they need to do in life. Some of them are probably going to, you know what? I'm gonna tell my age because I was about to say, well, no, I ain't doing that. No, no, just go and keep that to myself. So, being that said, I do wonder where this is gonna go. If Samantha is gonna decide that she wants to embark on really knowing who June is and have that relationship, or if she's just going to let it go. I also did enjoy the scene between Kat and Jacob where she was telling Jacob basically how bad the ex is. It's bad with Tomas. And she really didn't know what to do. I think that dynamic of the cousin-in-law relationship is cute. I know there are some people who are shipping them together, and I'm currently not. I wish that we were able to see a little bit more of the Naomi and Jacob. I felt like when BTG first got started, we were able to see a lot more of their relationship, and then it didn't. But granted, they also have a hefty cast. They have multiple different storylines coming. So I get it, but still, there are just some people and some stories that I just really want to see. So even when it pertains to Nicole and her children, like I do want to see Nicole a lot more and her storyline with Ted. Like it's being completely overshadowed more so by Leslie. So we always get Leslie's point of view. We get a little bit of Ted's point of view, but we don't really get Nicole's anymore. And that's what's really missing is Nicole's point of view. And that's what I know me as a fan, that's what I'm yearning for. I'm also yearning for seeing more of her relationship with her children. I feel like we see it more so here and there. And I would just like to see their dynamic a little bit more. I feel like we were able to really dig into the Hamilton family dynamic with Chelsea, Naomi, Danny, and Bill. Like we see the dynamic of their relationships, and we've been seeing it since the beginning. You know, even with Chelsea really understanding that she's like her mother's bright spot in being as a model, and how she had to navigate telling her like this is not what I want to do. And also Naomi is the bright spot of bills, and like not having that relationship with him that they used to have, and trying to figure out like can they find their way back. That is a great dynamic. Whereas I don't feel like we see that between Nicole and her children and Ted. I think Ted and Kat have more dialogues and dynamic there, but we're still missing Nicole. We're still missing Martin. There's just so much more I want to see from that family that unfortunately I'm not able to see. And we know Daphne can bring it. Daphne's been in the acting soap world for such a long time. She looks like such an amazing person. Girl, I want to be your friend too. But I just would, I'm craving to see more of Nicole and her with her children dynamics, because also seeing Nicole with Martin was great too, in the same sense, like how when she found out the truth and he kind of just like fell in his mother's arms, and I'm just like, "Yes, give it to me, like this is what I need." I also feel like because soaps are built on that family friendship foundation and the drama that comes with it, and trying to figure out the life and the this and the that and so like I don't know, I'm just, that is just me, that is what I'm wishing to see, and that is just that. Also, we have to really talk about, ooh, child. Ooh, it was a master class in soap, and I was waiting. I was waiting to talk about it. It was so amazing to see the Toonie boom, it happens. Trisha Man Grant, just acting their butts off. The arguments, the sparring, the slap heard around the world, the way that she slapped her, I said, yes, give it to me. The dialogue was literally freaking amazing. It was it was as good as the dialogue that Elon and Jacob had weeks ago, where he read his son down. And this time it was Anita and Leslie, Dana Honolulu, Sherry of it all, reading each other down and going back and forth, and that slap. I was just like, the amount of times I've literally watched that scene like last week, it's insane. And I'm just gonna say that. Am I cool? Because I don't know, because it was just so good, and I feel as though a lot of times I am starving for that in soaps. I'm just starving for that sparring. I'm starving for the arguments. I am starving for the family dynamic, the friend dynamic, the everything dynamic. Because if we're being honest, BTT, all the soaps and BTT too, they have some things that they could always, do better. And I just feel like that's with every show. That's even with life. That's even with the jobs that we have. Okay. But they are also giving me what I need. Them and Days. Now we got to think this is a serial show that comes on 5 days out of the week. They record almost the entire year. They only get a couple of weeks off, and here and there. So they have to pop out storylines continuously. So I get it, it's hard, but those who do it right, they do that is right. So now I'm just waiting for the kidnapping storyline. Oh, they're gonna have Chelsea in misery. You already know. So I'm excited about that too. And that's the thing. I could pinpoint multiple storylines when it pertains to BTG that I'm excited about more than the storylines that I'm not excited about. Because also Dougie, Joey, and Vanessa, oh, that's the story. That's the story. Give it to me. And even though Leslie, Dana, Honolulu, Sherry, it all gets on my nerves, her and Anita, that's a story, and that dynamic is cool. But I will always say, I am ready for Leslie to get some comeuppance. I am. It's time. And Eva too, low key. And I like Eva. But I need a little something, because Nicole and Kat, and I said this last week, they're not getting what I need. I don't see my people winning. So I don't know. It's finally 6 months that BTG has been around. Congratulations, 6 months, y'all. Yeah. Woo! I'm so happy. We've been waiting forever for this story. So Congratulations. And I'm just excited to more so see where this continues to go. So we're gonna move right on down and chug it right on along to Bold and Beautiful. Yes, Bold. One thing I could say about Bold, it is not Bold and the Beautiful if they don't have an essay storyline. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Obviously, Lunatic Luna, shout out to Deneen. Um, L squared. She went missing. Sheila and Lee are frantic. The girl done went to El Giardino's, put on a mask. Y'all know what story that brings to my mind. The whole Oliver, Brooke, and Hope and Rich story. But if you know, you know. Touched on it last week too. So put on a mask, got him drunk, drugged him. So he really wasn't in his best frame of mind. Electra had already left. They made plans. They were going to see each other the next day and, all excited because, she about to let him go to Pound Town. Ooh, yeah. Like, so of course he's all excited. He's a man and he's been waiting. So of course he's all excited about it, but winds up getting drunk, winds up getting drugged. And then Deacon is able to put him in a room so he can sleep it off, only for, Lunatic Luna to come in there and fully take advantage of him. He does not know it's her. He did take off her mask, but it could be that he was just so drunk he didn't realize it. But, dark hair. From my assumption, he was thinking that it was Electra, only for him to find out towards the end of the week that it was not. Yeah, so we're gonna see how it goes. He doesn't really know, what happened, or I don't really know, what the next step is in this. Yeah, but I don't know. That is just like all I can say is just like I don't know. It just really sucks because Luna could have been a great character, and I think. That's my problem. I feel as though Luna was sacrificed in order to make sure that Sheila had a story. And now I feel like Lee is being sacrificed in her relationship with her son just so Sheila can come out looking, better. And now Lee is gonna look more so like the bad guy. And why didn't you say this and this, that, and the other? And also, where did this bleeding heart of Lee come from? Because we all know she could not stand Luna. Like, and she was very much like, you cannot have any part of her, the relationship, no, what she did to your wife, and she can't be around Hayes, your son, like this, like going in just to, do a 180. And now wanted to make sure that she saves her, rehabilitates her, like all of this stuff. Is it even possible at this point? Because for me, if Luna was really going to be rehabilitated, when Bill got her out of there, or like even let's even stick with just the whole, when Lee got her out of there. You've just been shot. And the first thing you want to do is go find a man and ruin his relationship and bump him. That's the first thing you want to do. So basically, you're just irredeemable. Also, if you just got shot, how are you bumping and grinding? Like what? Who? And I know he was drunk, but you ain't feel that scar over there, boy. Like I. And also, I know this is a soap, so we have to suspend belief. But sometimes I'm just like, really? I mean, me personally, I would have had her healing more so for another 2 weeks, showing us that she's walking around and, she's still having intrusive thoughts and she finds out about this, but Bold moves fast sometimes. They move fast and then sometimes they move slow. There's really no middle line with them, unfortunately. So I, I don't know. I just would have, you know what, Ashley? Soap's gonna do what they gonna do. They don't listen to the fans. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Luna is just irredeemable at this point, and let's just see how they're gonna write her out next, basically. So that's what's coming up next. And also, ooh, hey, days of our lives. Hey, hey, get it up now. Yo, days, days of our lives. Wow. Last week, I have to admit, you had 2 to 3 days that I was like, Oh, yeah, backpack. I literally had to wait. I woke up, I wake up 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. And once that 6 a.m. hit, I had to record because you're telling me that it was Rachel who shot EJ, bruh. I don't think, I don't know why it didn't compute. And I wonder if it's because of the recast. Because the little girl that played Rachel before, she was super spunky. I always said that that's a younger Sammy in training. She always had something to say. Definitely Kristen's daughter, you could see it. But when the new little girl took over, it kind of felt like it was downplayed a little bit more demure, like, kind of just like, oh, I don't know, type thing. Like, I don't know, like something wasn't the same anymore. And I think that's why I didn't automatically think that it was her who shot EJ. But I literally dropped everything when I found that out. And I'm always used to like picking and I can like see it happening. I really didn't know who shot him. I really, really didn't know. So, anyways, just going back a little bit. So obviously EJ was fired by Johnny because you bringing up his wife. And one thing we know about Johnny don't play about his wife. He said what he said. So in that, Johnny tries to represent himself, and that's when, of course, like they get home and EJ's in a Demira mansion and Marlena's there with Rachel and she drops it and drops like a little thing, eggshelly thingy, glassware, and the memory comes back. And Dan be acting. Dan plays EJ. And just the thing, you are with one of the legends, Deidre Hall, and you both are acting down right now. Like kudos. And then when Stacy came in there as she's Kristen Demira, she was also like frantic. Of course she didn't, want to believe it, try to figure out like, and he just like, I'm not gonna sacrifice my son for your daughter. Like this is about both of our children. You need to figure out how we're gonna make sure that our kids are safe. Like what are we doing? So at the end of the day, we do know that she takes the blame. So she takes the blame, and that is where that happened. And you already know Brady's gonna be on his high horse. She's not gonna tell him. But it was just so good to me. Like, and I also really appreciate how they're showcasing Marlena more. You also see Susan Seaford Hayes a little bit more. We just need to see Maggie, Suzanne Rogers a little bit more. Like I'm a person, I just really love the histories and loving to see veterans getting spotlight. But of course not too much, but to the extent of where it's necessary or having that umbrella storyline where they're pulled in. Like I love that. It's logical that Marlena would be around Rachel and helping her out, all of this other stuff. Because Marlena is a grandmother not only to Rachel, but to Johnny. Like this, that makes sense. Oh, a soap is making sense. I mean, I love to see it. A soap is making sense. Wow. And Days is making sense, just like BTG. Mm. I just like it. Just I don't know what I don't really know what else to say about it. And we also know, like, so we're gonna talk about my other favorite storyline too as well. So everyone knows that my other favorite storyline is the Sophia and the baby, leaving the baby and seeing the baby around town. Nobody knows that it's the baby. But if you saw it coming attractions, you already know that Brady on that ass. He knows something ain't right. So I'm also looking forward to that this week. But what really tripped me out with Sophia, so you sitting here with Sarah. Sarah really wants you to tell the truth, but she can't do it obviously because of HIPAA regulations and law. And then Sophia, that Sarah is the aunt of Holly, Tate's girlfriend. And you talking about, oh yeah, I want to see, hopefully Risk could go with Tate. Even Sarah had to be like, that's my niece, right? I did love that because it also showed how young-minded someone can be that's a teenager, not really reading the room and just saying whatever they feel because they feel comfortable. but not understanding and knowing, like, girl, that's still your nemesis's aunt. Like, she's being a helpful ear to you right now because she really wants you to tell the truth, but that's, not what it is. She is not your friend, girl. And that's the thing. She's really not your friend. And that's what you need to understand. She's a doctor who doesn't necessarily agree what you did. And she needs you to tell the truth about it. But I don't think that Sophia is going to tell the truth anytime soon. I think she is just more trying to figure out what her next steps would be in like life. And basically, to be honest, that's essentially what she did tell Sarah. It was just more along the lines of like, I can't. My parents, my mother, she's gonna make me keep the baby. I don't want that. I wanted to go to college, this, that, and the other, like so many things. But also, you're gonna continue to see that baby around town. Like, and she already had a breakdown a week prior, low key. So, yeah, I'm still wondering who from that, teen, young adult group is going to be the person to find out about the baby. Because it's going to be somebody. It's going to be Holly or it's going to be Ari. And even if it's one of those two, it's going to have a huge dynamic. Holly is Tate's girlfriend, and Ari is his cousin. So like Harry, like, ooh, I just can't wait to be this excited and a smile on my face. Because if you're listening to me, you can't even see. I'm just cheesing just because you don't know where it could go. And I love that. I just like, and you have so many different assumptions and illusions. Like, I love soaps, yeah. Like, it's just, ooh, I just love it. Even when I know what's gonna happen, like, yeah. And my favorite characters, like, oh yeah. So like, I don't know. I just can't. So that'll be the others. Those are the two top stories for me that like I am all the way down for, looking forward to. I am missing some Sean and Jada, some Shadow. Like where they at? Like come on, put them back on our screens. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Ugh. See, this is the one. So I try not to talk about that much, but Nina's in here right now, so you know, we're just gonna go. My first question is, Willow, are you cool? Like, no, like for real, Willow. Like, are you cool for real, for real? I didn't appreciate how they had my girl Elizabeth caping for her. Caping for her. She actually had to talk to old girl Christina, trying to get her to see and help Weeping Willow out just for her to overhear her reaching out to Drew. Girl, girl, instead of your mother, you'd rather do Drew instead of your mother. Okay. The reason of why you don't have your kids. Okay. The other person who slept with your mother. Okay. That really makes sense to you? That really computes? And I'm like, does she even know that this man is literally targeting kids? The fact that he even thought that he had the right to even speak to Wiley is insane to me. Because if I was her and I was just as mad at him about the situation, I would have been going at him concerning you speaking to my child because you know what happened the last time you spoke to him, and absolutely not. But no, no, no. Instead, I'm going to be my weeping self who doesn't know how to stand on business, who doesn't know how to pull herself up by her bootstraps, who doesn't know how to take accountability and say, I need to change and I need to do better. And I ain't messing with Drew. And I'm going to talk to Elizabeth over here so I can get myself right. Granted, y'all would probably say, like, oh, but there's no drama. Yes, it could be drama. She could be smacking Drew all the way up and down every time she see him. She's too freaking nice and she's too freaking stupid. And that's what I hate. And then you got Nina and Chase, like, always making excuses for her. Always trying, just all, never really telling her what it is. Chase pissed me off too that one time, even not really telling her what it is. She was wrong. Period. Michael ain't all the way right either. But no, but people tell Michael about himself. And Michael also knows he ain't no saint. And I am far from a Corinthos stan. Period. But I can also call a spade a spade. I am a huge liaison fan. And I think and definitely Elizabeth. Love me some Rebecca. Love me some Becky. But I can also say the whole Drew thing with Scout is just absolutely disgusting. And he keeps targeting children. So also he tried to have Michael arrested, and of course it didn't work out in his favor, and loses a lawyer in the process. And then you have that new ADA who also overheard how Drew was when he was talking to Sonny. So she already knows what Drew is about, and and they round up not being able to press charges. Drew loses the lawyer. He's still being a grade A dick. Um, yeah. So that's what's happening with that. But also, why the hell is Ava targeting Molly? Can somebody explain that to me? Can somebody, I guess the word, make it make sense? Because I just feel like that came out of nowhere. Um, I feel like that was more of, ooh, we need to do something. So let's just, you know, she hates Molly too. When it just, for me, it would have made more sense if it would have been like, okay, so Ava knows that Rick is plotting against her, already spoke to Alexis. She knows that Alexis probably will just be, even though she hates Rick, she probably hates Rick a little bit less than her. So how about, ooh, let me just use Molly to get back at Rick and Alexis. Instead, it's like she has this vitriol for Molly, and I'm just like, but where did it come from? And I love my Ava. And that's also the thing that is wrong with soaps, and me and Neen have talked about this too already on here. We're never clued in like we were in the past. And I just feel like they never clue us in because they don't know if they're going to change things. And the thing is, in the past, they used to know where they wanted to go with the stories and have it processed that way. Now, I just really feel like they're throwing things at the wall and seeing if it sticks. Ooh, we want to change this on the fly. Damn, the viewers done figured out what we want to do. Let's change it. That's not how it works. I'm fine with, even if we spot it out and we say what's gonna happen, I am completely fine with that. Let us cook. Let us watch. Like, we are soap watchers. You don't have to switch everything up on the fly. Just change ish around. Make a story that we haven't heard of. Like I keep saying with the Sophia and Tate thing. I didn't know that was gonna happen with their baby. I love it. I love it. Also, the Rachel shooting EJ does remind me of Guiding Light when Lizzie shot Beth's, former boo. Sorry, I had to throw that in there too. Just sprinkle of the old stories right there. But just clue us in. Let us know what's like gonna happen. And that's what I liked. I don't know, because we never know what they're thinking. If we've been including why Ava is feeling this type of way about Molly, it just really would have been better instead of us just, huh? Like that's literally huh? Where did this come from? Listen, I don't know. Those are just my 2 cents. And then for Young and the Restless, they just gonna mess up my Nadra, my Nate and Audra. Y'all know how I feel about them. So I feel like it's literally a countdown to their demise. We still have no idea what's going on with Tessa, and Mariah, and why Mariah's feeling this way. I don't know. There's just, once again, we're never clued in. They never show us scenes. It's always after the fact. I, I don't know. I just really miss the way my soups was when I was growing up. So, I mean, as long as I got BTG, Beyond the Gates, and Days right now, because Days, you're doing your big one. It's appreciated. Thank you for your services, both of you. Um, and from there, oh my goodness, like since I don't have the sparring and to go back and forth, and it's just mwah here today. I'm just gonna, end it and just say thank you so much for watching Soapwire, for being with us on this journey. I'll be having great fun times. I love talking about my stories, my soaps. I've been watching it since I was a little girl. So with that, please be sure to follow Soapwire. We are actually on TikTok, okay? So follow us on TikTok, soap.wire. Here are little quick shorts, tidbits, breaking news if I can. So be sure to check that out. We're also on Blue Sky, Soapwire. And we are also on Instagram, soap_wire. And you can definitely feel free to follow me. And I'm just going to tell you right now, What I do on my personal page, that's just me. And that is, and I am my own entity, okay? Ashley Sheree here on her own entity. So definitely feel free to follow me on Instagram, lady two Y's underscore ASA, lady two Y's underscore ASA. Also on a black place on Twitter. I'm I'm not never leaving Twitter. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hoping somebody will buy it. And also on Blue Sky. Blue Sky is lady two Y's no underscore ASA. And that is us for today. I truly hope you enjoyed the episode with me, moi, by myself. So check us out next Soapwire episode, 8 a.m. Wednesday. Okay. So please be on the lookout. Also, please follow us on TikTok, soap.wire, and also all the other places that I mentioned before. And also follow your girl. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much. And that is our podcast for today. So bye.